Welcome to your Health Facts Podcast, a place to learn simple ways to boost your health. Today, we're diving into the APOE4 gene and how it relates to dementia. A lot of people think that if they have this gene, they're automatically going to get dementia. But did you know that's not necessarily true?
That's right. Many individuals with Alzheimer's disease don't actually possess the APOE4 gene. And conversely, there are individuals who have the gene but never experience any cognitive decline.
So instead of just focusing on what we can't control with our genetics, why don't we look at the things we can control, like our lifestyle choices?
Exactly, because while genes do play a part, lifestyle factors can significantly impact our trajectory when it comes to brain health.
I think a really important thing to be aware of is the accumulation of heavy metals in the brain.
Absolutely. Heavy metal toxicity is a major concern because those toxins can actually impair your cognitive function. They can also increase the risk of dementia and even lower IQ scores.
Wow, that's pretty scary. So it sounds like it's really important to make sure we're aware of the sources of heavy metals and try to minimize our exposure as much as possible.
I completely agree. Understanding where these heavy metals are coming from is really the first step in protecting our brain health.
It's fascinating to me how dementia symptoms can often show up years before an official diagnosis.
That's true. And recognizing those early warning signs is so important for timely intervention.
Right, because something like forgetting names or tasks or even appointments.
Could be just normal everyday occurrences, or they could actually be early indicators of something more serious.
And that's why it's so important to pay attention to those things and to investigate further if you're having any concerns. So let's talk about some brain-boosting foods and remedies that have been traditionally used to support cognitive health.
Okay, so one of the things that comes to mind is turmeric. It's a bright yellow spice that has incredible anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
Yeah, turmeric has always been a popular spice, and it's been getting a lot of attention lately for its potential benefits for the brain.
And the key player in turmeric is curcumin. This active compound shows some really remarkable neuroprotective effects, especially when it comes to heavy metal toxicity.
That's amazing. So it's almost like curcumin is acting as a shield for the brain cells, protecting them from the damaging effects of things like arsenic.
Precisely. Obviously, minimizing our exposure to those contaminated food sources is a priority, but turmeric can offer an additional layer of defense.
Right. And not just that, but turmeric also supports liver function, which
Wow.
is so crucial for detoxification. So another thing I've heard is really great for detoxification are cruciferous vegetables.
Yes, absolutely. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, those play a crucial role in supporting our glutathione redox system.
Can you explain what that is?
It's essentially our body's main defense against oxidative stress, and it uses glutathione, which is a potent antioxidant, to neutralize those harmful free radicals that are generated by heavy metal exposure.
So basically, if you eat your cruciferous vegetables, they're like a little army defending your cells.
Exactly. And the key compound in these vegetables is sulforaphane. It's been shown to activate the production of glutathione, strengthening your defenses even further. Now, let's not forget about garlic, a powerful ally in the fight against cognitive decline.
Oh yeah, garlic is amazing. It has so many benefits, and most people already have it in their kitchens.
It really does. It's rich in sulfur compounds like allicin, which not only support liver detoxification, but also act as a natural antibiotic.
Right, it's like a multitasker for your health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps modulate the immune system, and it even helps reduce the severity of illnesses.
Okay, so we've talked about turmeric, cruciferous vegetables, and garlic. What about drinks? Are there any drinks that are good for the brain?
Well, green tea is a great example. It's been consumed for centuries, and it's packed with antioxidants, especially catechins that have neuroprotective effects.
Oh yeah, green tea. I love green tea. I've definitely heard that it's really good for you.
It is, and one catechin in particular stands out, epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG.
EGCG.
Yeah, EGCG. And it's amazing because it can actually cross the blood-brain barrier.
Wow, so it can directly protect those brain cells from oxidative damage.
You got it. It's like a dedicated guardian constantly patrolling the brain, neutralizing free radicals, and protecting those delicate neurons.
It sounds like green tea is a great choice for anyone looking to boost their brain health.
Absolutely. Plus, you get the added benefit of caffeine for enhanced brain function and L-theanine for a calming and relaxing effect.
So it's like a perfect combination for focus and relaxation all in one drink. Now, I know berries are often talked about for their health benefits. What about for brain health?
Well, berries are full of potent antioxidants, and in that category, blueberries really stand out.
Because of their color.
Exactly. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, which are the pigments that give them their vibrant hue. And those anthocyanins act as powerful antioxidants, shielding brain cells from free radicals and inflammation.
So I imagine eating blueberries regularly can help improve memory and cognitive function overall.
That's what the research suggests. Studies have shown that blueberries can potentially enhance learning and even delay cognitive decline. It really highlights their potential in supporting brain health as we age.
That's great. And what about other berries? Are there any other berries that are particularly beneficial for the brain?
Well, while blueberries are often in the spotlight, black currants and black raspberries shouldn't be overlooked. They actually have an even higher concentration of those beneficial anthocyanins.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there's elderberry. Elderberries are amazing. They've been used medicinally for centuries, and they're packed with anthocyanins. In fact, they significantly surpass even wild blueberries in their antioxidant capacity.
That's incredible. So many powerful berries out there. Speaking of powerful, let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids. I know they're essential for brain health, but can you explain why?
Of course. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential because they're crucial for maintaining the brain's structure and function. And a big part of that is their role in the myelin sheath.
The myelin sheath.
Yeah, it's a fatty layer that insulates the neurons. You can think of it like the insulation around electrical wires. It allows for efficient communication throughout the brain.
So without that insulation, the messages get scrambled up.
Exactly. And that's why getting enough omega-3s is so important. They're abundant in fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. But while omega-3s are crucial, it's also important to be mindful of our omega-6 intake.
What do you mean?
Well, omega-6 fatty acids are also essential, but most modern diets are overloaded with them, especially from processed foods and seed oils. And that can actually disrupt the balance of omega-3s in the body.
So it's kind of like a seesaw. You need both sides for it to work properly.
Exactly. That imbalance can lead to inflammation, which can hinder optimal brain function.
That makes sense. So what about exercise? I know exercise is good for our bodies, but how does it affect our brains?
Well, regular exercise has been shown to significantly reduce the risk of dementia. It's not just good for your heart and your muscles, it's good for your brain too.
So if you want to keep your brain sharp, you need to get moving.
Exactly. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week, and you'll be doing your brain a big favor. And last but not least, we can't forget about hydration.
Oh yeah, water. It's so easy to forget to drink enough water sometimes.
It is, and it's crucial for our brains. Our brains are about 73% water, so they need a lot of it to function properly.
What happens if we don't drink enough water?
Well, dehydration can really impair cognitive function. It affects memory, concentration, and just overall mental clarity. So make sure you're staying hydrated throughout the day, especially during physical activity, hot weather, or when you're recovering from an illness. So let's move on to some practical strategies, for supporting brain health through diet. One thing I want to point out is that as we get older, it can be harder to prepare meals consistently at home.
Yeah, it's so easy to just grab something quick or order takeout. But I know those choices aren't always the best for our brains.
Right. Convenience foods and restaurant meals tend to be higher in salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats, which over time can have a negative impact on brain health.
So it sounds like cooking at home more often is really key for protecting our brains.
Exactly. When you prepare your own meals, you have control over the ingredients and the quality of the food you're eating.
Makes sense. Now, what about rice? I know rice is a staple in many diets, but I've heard there can be some concerns with arsenic contamination.
You're right. It's a good idea to be mindful of that. Rinsing rice thoroughly before cooking and using more water can help reduce arsenic levels.
Oh, that's good to know. Are there any other things we can do to minimize the risk?
Yeah, combining rice with foods that are rich in antioxidants can also help. And it's important to remember that maintaining healthy blood pressure is essential for brain health.
How does blood pressure affect the brain?
Well, high blood pressure restricts blood flow to the brain, and over time, that can contribute to cognitive decline.
I see. So it's like the blood vessels are like highways, and high blood pressure creates traffic jams, preventing those essential nutrients from reaching the brain.
That's a great analogy. So managing blood pressure through lifestyle changes like diet, exercise, and stress reduction is really crucial for protecting our cognitive health. Now let's circle back to turmeric for a moment.
Okay, yeah, turmeric. We talked about its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Is there anything else we should know about it?
Well, the key thing to remember is that turmeric contains curcuminoids, and these are potent antioxidants that help combat inflammation and protect those precious brain cells from damage.
So how can we incorporate turmeric into our diets?
It's super easy. You can add it to curries, soups, smoothies, or even just enjoy a cup of turmeric tea.
Oh, I love turmeric tea. It's so soothing.
It is. And a little tip, combining turmeric with black pepper can significantly enhance curcumin absorption.
Oh, really? So black pepper helps unlock turmeric's full potential.
Exactly. Another crucial aspect of brain health is maintaining stable blood sugar levels.
Why is that?
Well, fluctuations in blood sugar can disrupt the energy supply to the brain, and that can really impair cognitive function and increase the risk of dementia.
So our brains need a constant supply of energy to function at their best.
That's right. It's like a car running out of gas. You need to keep the tank full for optimal performance. And choosing complex carbohydrates over simple sugars and making sure you're getting enough fiber can really help regulate those blood sugar levels.
That makes a lot of sense. What about sleep? How important is sleep for brain health?
Sleep is absolutely paramount. When we sleep, our brains can finally clear out toxins, consolidate memories, and repair any damage that's occurred during the day.
It's like a nightly reset button for the brain.
Precisely. And not getting enough sleep can have some serious consequences for cognitive function. It can actually increase the risk of dementia and impair memory, attention, and decision making. So it's essential to create a relaxing bedtime routine, make sure your bedroom is dark and quiet, and avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. Those are all things that can really improve sleep quality and, in turn, improve brain health.
Great advice. So we've talked about diet, blood pressure, turmeric, blood sugar, and sleep. Is there anything else we should be thinking about when it comes to brain health?
Well, don't underestimate the power of socialization.
Socialization.
Yes, staying socially connected is incredibly important for brain health. It helps stimulate cognitive function and prevent isolation, which is actually a risk factor for dementia. Think of social interactions as exercise for your brain. They keep it active, engaged, and more resilient to cognitive decline.
That makes sense. So it's important to have meaningful conversations, participate in group activities, and nurture those close relationships.
Exactly, and it's never too early or too late to start embracing those brain-healthy habits. Remember, brain health is a lifelong journey, and the choices we make today can have a significant impact on our cognitive function as we age. Now, I want to delve a bit deeper into the importance of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay, we touched on omega-3s earlier, mentioning their role in the myelin sheath. What else should we know about them?
Well, these essential fats are truly the building blocks of a healthy brain. They're crucial for maintaining cognitive function, and you can almost think of them as the lubrication for all those complex processes happening in our brains.
I like that analogy.
Unfortunately, many modern diets are lacking in those essential omega-3s and at the same time overloaded with omega-6 fatty acids, creating an imbalance that contributes to inflammation. That inflammation can affect the brain and potentially even lead to cognitive decline.
So it's like we're getting too much of the bad fats and not enough of the good fats.
Precisely. And that's why it's crucial to incorporate foods that are rich in omega-3s into our diets. We're talking about fatty fish, flax seeds, walnuts. Those are all great sources. Now, there's another fascinating aspect of brain health I'd like to discuss, and that's the connection between our gut and our brain.
The gut and the brain.
Yes, the gut microbiome, which is all those trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract, can actually influence brain function.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't realize the gut had such a strong connection to the brain.
It does. It's like having a second brain in our bellies. And it's constantly communicating with our brain through this complex network of nerves and chemicals. If the gut microbiome is imbalanced, it can lead to inflammation and oxidative stress, which can damage brain cells and increase the risk of cognitive decline.
So taking care of our gut health is also essential for taking care of our brain health.
Absolutely. And one of the best ways to support a healthy gut microbiome is through diet. Eating plenty of fiber, fermented foods, and even probiotics can have a positive impact on the gut and, subsequently, on the brain.
So what about exercise? We talked about its benefits for the brain earlier, but how exactly does it work?
Well, physical activity not only benefits our physical health, but it also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and improves blood flow to the brain. You can think of it as a workout for your brain, strengthening those neural connections and improving its overall function.
So aiming for those 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week is a good goal.
Exactly. And finding activities that challenge your brain, like dancing or learning a new sport, can be even more beneficial. And we can't forget about hydration. We talked about this earlier, but it's worth emphasizing again.
Yes, water is so important.
Our brains depend on water to function properly. It's involved in transporting nutrients to the brain and removing waste products. Dehydration can really impair cognitive function and make it difficult to think clearly. So, make it a habit to drink plenty of water throughout the day, especially when you're exercising or spending time in hot weather.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Is there anything else you want to add about specific foods that are particularly beneficial for brain health?
Absolutely. Let's start with blueberries. We mentioned them earlier, but they're so important for brain health that they deserve a little more attention. They're packed with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which give them their vibrant blue color.
I love blueberries.
Yeah,
And I know they're good for you, but can you remind me why?
sure. Those anthocyanins act as powerful brain protectors. They shield brain cells from the damage caused by free radicals and inflammation. And studies have shown that consuming blueberries regularly can actually improve memory, enhance learning, and even delay cognitive decline.
Wow, that's impressive. What about other brain-boosting foods?
Well, fatty fish is another excellent choice. We're talking about fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines. They're all abundant in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA, which are essential for brain health.
I've heard that DHA is really important for the brain, but can you explain why?
Sure, DHA is a major structural component of brain cell membranes. It's literally a building block for a strong and resilient brain. And EPA helps reduce inflammation in the brain, which is crucial for preventing damage. So, eating fatty fish regularly can really benefit brain health.
What about other foods?
Walnuts. They're often called brain food because, well, they kind of look like little brains.
That's true. I never thought about it that way.
And they're packed with those brain-boosting omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and other nutrients that support cognitive function. Studies have shown that eating walnuts regularly can improve memory, enhance learning, and protect against age-related cognitive decline.
So we've got blueberries, fatty fish, and walnuts. Those are all great options.
They are. This information provides a wealth of knowledge and practical tips for supporting brain health throughout life. It's never too early or too late to make choices that benefit your brain. Even small changes can have a significant impact, paving the way for a sharper, more resilient brain for years to come.
Now, let's talk about stress. I think everyone knows that stress is bad for you, but how does chronic stress specifically affect the brain?
Well, it can really wreak havoc on the brain.
Hmm.
Chronic stress can lead to cognitive impairment, and it can even increase the risk of dementia.
It's like stress is constantly attacking the brain's defenses, weakening it over time.
That's a good way to put it. But the good news is that there are things we can do to manage stress and protect our brains.
Okay, like what?
Things like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature. These can all help build resilience to stress.
I've definitely heard that mindfulness and meditation can be really beneficial for stress reduction.
They really can. And incorporating those practices into your daily routine can really make a difference in protecting your brain from the damaging effects of chronic stress. One thing that I find really fascinating is the concept of neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, what is that?
It's basically the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life. Our brains aren't static, they're constantly reshaping themselves based on our experiences, what we learn, and the challenges we face.
So even as we age, our brains can still grow and improve.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to keep challenging our brains. Things like learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or solving puzzles can all stimulate neuroplasticity and boost cognitive function.
That's encouraging. So it's like giving our brains a workout, keeping them strong and flexible.
Exactly. Now, I know a lot of people worry about memory loss as they get older.
Yeah, memory loss can be a big concern.
It's important to remember that occasional forgetfulness is a normal part of aging. But if you're experiencing persistent memory problems that interfere with your daily life, it's definitely important to talk to your doctor.
Are there things that can cause memory loss besides just getting older?
Yes, there are a number of factors that can contribute to memory loss, and some of them can actually be reversed with proper treatment. Things like vitamin deficiencies, thyroid disorders, or even medication side effects can affect memory.
So early detection and intervention are really important.
They are. It can make a big difference in preventing further cognitive decline. Speaking of things that are important for brain health, let's talk about sleep again.
Sleep. I know we talked about it earlier, but it's so essential.
It really is. When we sleep, our brains are hard at work, consolidating memories, clearing out toxins, and repairing damage.
It's like a nightly maintenance crew coming in to fix everything up.
That's a great analogy. And when we don't get enough sleep, all those important processes get disrupted. And over time, that can have a serious impact on cognitive function.
So getting enough sleep is crucial for keeping our brains healthy and functioning at their best.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, it's about the quality of sleep too. Making sure you have a relaxing bedtime routine, a dark and quiet bedroom, and avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed can really improve sleep quality.
Great tips. Any final thoughts?